here tonight. Lots of teenagers in it last week against Ajax. And she finished with a team that was under 21 in terms of the average age. Here's Harto. One of those teenagers, 19 years of age, but plenty of games under his belt with Ajax. He signed from during the summer and played against last week. Inside the Champions League match at Stamford Bridge. Lavia. Santos scored the first goal tonight. Still with the ball in. Snapshot. Goes over the crossbar. Santos it was again. Possible half chance there in the penalty area.
I think the whole defensive line for me for Wolves are dropping too early. I mentioned it just now about Esteval and Totti Gomez dropping off at the wrong time, but just in general, as that ball's coming in, dropping off that little bit too much. They need to go and attack the ball, try and squeeze Chelsea out. Fortunate that the ball in wasn't better. For me, Wolves are inviting too much pressure.
Santos. This is Gittins. Santos again. Towards George. Wolves just about get it clear. Rokadara's got to do a bit of work here on his own up against two Chelsea players, but he does well. He's in looking for Hwang.
She does really well, and I don't think Hwang helps him. I know what Hwang's thinking in terms of if that ball comes into me, I'm trying to get off the back shoulder of the defender and I've got a 1v1. But I think you can tell your teammates on the stretch, I think you've got to come a little bit closer and try and nip in front of the defender. Too eager there, isn't he, Esteval, to try and atone for his error, and now he's got to be careful with already being on that yellow card.
From 2-0 down at the weekend against Burnley to get it back to 2-2 before half-time, in fact. But they need a bit of a spark here as we head up to the half-hour mark. Okadara and Hwang with the volley. Well, it was a sweet connection, just lacking no direction. It's from Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Yeah, and those are the opportunities that Wolves have got to capitalise on. It's a difficult opportunity for Hwang, don't get me wrong, but technique isn't right, hits it well enough, but you see when he's leaning back, that's always going to mean it's going to fly over the bar.
Yellow card. Long on the pitch, Rodrigo Gomez.
Yeah, I think that's harsh, don't get me wrong. Definitely a free kick, there's no doubt, but it's not dangerous. It's just a little bit late.
I think it was intended for Okadara, who was sent after you. He's got it back though. Now Gomez. And the shot will come in from distance from Agbadou. Optimistic in the extreme.
Decision making's all wrong there, isn't it? So far out. Doesn't particularly present itself, in my opinion, in those moments where you can keep the ball, where you can recycle it. And the decision making, among other things for Wolves, that the lack of clinical ability is an issue all season.
Jurgensen. Got to be careful here. His teammate into real trouble there. And, well, Lopez was really keen to get possession of it. He's given away the free kick.
The goalkeeper's very, very fortunate that Lopez, in my opinion, is too naive there. He doesn't have to jump over the defender, just needs to keep him face towards his own goal.
Esteban onto that left foot, trying to unleash the shot. It's blocked momentarily. Barto. Gittins for Chelsea, looking for a third goal here. Lavia. There's a clever little pass, but he just got too much on it.
That's the right idea, because he had two bodies moving forward for him. Again, Esteban's looking really bright, loves to come off that right-hand side and strike like he did for the goal. But that time it's well blocked.
Okadara is a really good sounding board for Wolverhampton Wanderers. He's 6'6". Did well there to find a teammate. Here is Totti Gomez. That's what I'm saying. The next goal is massive whenever it comes. Wolves just need to somehow stay in this game.
Look at the shots there. Agbadou's probably a great example of that shot from range that really doesn't test the keeper at all, and no shots on target for them so far, because they've been half chances, pop shots that haven't really been taken on in the right way, whereas Chelsea look a lot more dangerous when they do get into the final third.
Starting tonight for the first time since September. Beaten here by Leeds United, all 3 goals coming in the first half, and those were his last minutes up until tonight. Sam Johnson has become the number 1 for Wolves, not on the bench this evening. I suggest that he's been rested for the weekend's match, and what a game that is for them against Fulham. Craven Cottage. There's also in a bit of trouble near the bottom, not anywhere near as bad as Wolverhampton Wanderers though. What a ball for.
Well, actually, not a Wolfer in terms of one is defending, actually getting down that left-hand side, providing width and height.
He signed during the summer from AZ Alkmaar for £12 million. He started in August, the opening matches, but since then he's pretty much had to sit and watch from the bench. Totti Gomez. Needs a bit of work, that throw in, I think. Yeah, break down into the penalty area for Rodrigo Gomez. Here's Totti Gomez. They're ball in on that occasion. And it goes towards the back post, and arriving was Mosquera, but stretching and putting it behind was Buonanotte.
It was a heart-in-mouth moment initially, wasn't it? But I know that Buonanotte has to make this. Initially Decent ball in from Gomez. Second time round, another lovely dig pass in. He knows there's someone behind him waiting to tuck that in.
Here comes the corner. Keeper comes, doesn't make it, and Gittins with the touch. Wolfer has it again for Wolverhampton Wanderers, who win a throw-in. Still plenty of players upfield. They want to get this ball in and around the penalty area. João Gomez just dicks it in towards the penalty area. Wang. Wang do here. Could do. The presence of the referee there. And the ball goes, and it's comfortable for the Chelsea goalkeeper. Having moments, aren't they? But just not finding any real killer pass at the moment.
Yeah, and a team that's lacking confidence because there's opportunities where they're getting into the final third and it's the wrong execution on the cross like it was there, or poor decisions. I think at the moment, well, where Huang passes it back, it's a poor ball really into Agbadou, who makes something of it. So there's moments, glimmers of hope, but wrong decisions being made.
Bonanotte. George through the centre. That was the intended pass. He has to go back and fetch it, but he's done really well here. Gittins. Two in front of him. That's the man it was who maybe got something on it. Overly confident the way he attacked that cross.
Initially, I think the ball into George has to be better. It probably has to be in front of him, and then when it does land to Gittins again, he's full of confidence. Just the little shuffle, soul roll on the ball. Bad ball in. I think he's actually looking for gusto, and it's taken away by Esteval.
£1 million Chelsea paid Borussia Dortmund to support Jamie Gittins during the summer. Had over 100 games for Dortmund, 17 goals during that time. A very brief spell at Chelsea as a youngster, also at Reading, and then on to Manchester City. Gittins again. Lavia.
He's frustrated, Augusto, because he's taking up some fantastic positions. The back shoulder, Wolfer eats his space on that right hand side because of how narrow at times Wolves are getting in that back five. He's not being found by his Chelsea teammates. Higher up the pitch in these last 5 or so minutes, Wolves, and not a surprise because they know.
There's an error here, and Esteval for 3-0. What a finish that is. The Brazilian teenager continues to make noise in English football. Well, Chelsea are cruising at the moment. They lead here now by 3 goals to 0, and we're still only in the first half.
It's Lopez with a big error. He'll argue that he doesn't want it, but Jose Sar's telling him it has to go. It begs the question, why play the ball into him in the first place? But Esteval brilliant on the front foot. He knows the ball's going to come to him when it's run from his teammate. And the finish really is sumptuous. Andre Santos is the one that goes and presses Lopez. Brilliant work rate to get there. And it's about Esteval. Have you got the composure? The answer is yes, emphatically.
That is a miserable scoreline again for Wolverhampton Wanderers supporters, but for Esteval, may not be as significant as the goal he scored against Liverpool recently at Stamford Bridge, but it was a thing of great beauty.
It was, and I was mentioning it looked like Wolves were higher up the pitch, having to take a few more risks because they know they needed to get back into the game. But the problem is when you do that, when you isolate some of your defenders and your midfielders dropping in, one, it's got to be right, and then if it does go wrong, because you've opened up the shape, when it does go wrong, it's hard to claw back and defend well, which we've seen there, and it's a real shame for Wolves because effectively for me, that's game over.
Awaits edge of the penalty area. I mean, something, they might get something here. Kadara it was. He just made the run and will be absolutely furious he hasn't scored there.
No flag goes up. Chelsea defender straight away are asking the question, but he misses it. So put the ball in the back of the net, ask the questions later. Has to do better.
It was a really good opportunity, probably Wolves' best opportunity of the night. It's gone very quiet inside Molineux. There was howls of derision and frustration and boos and all sorts. And Burnley scored their injury time winner on Sunday. And it just feels a bit flat here tonight. This is Lavia. In the sense there are more goals for them out here tonight.
It's the perfect scenario, isn't it, for Chelsea? 3 early goals, a big reaction from the Sunderland loss. Then got the ability in the second half to make your substitutes and look forward to the game against Spurs on the weekend.
Normally you take off your big players and bring on lesser players, wouldn't you, or youngsters? But if you look at the Chelsea bench tonight, there are a lot of players who you feel almost certain will be playing against Tottenham the weekend. Whether you want to bring them on with the game won, might not be the case. Wolverhampton. That will be coming on at some stage. That will be predetermined, I'm sure, in terms of time as opposed to match situation.
Definitely the physios and the doctors will certainly be ruling that decision. It's that fine line between getting him on the pitch and getting him minutes and fitness, but obviously not doing him any damage. You should hate that as a player when you know you've got prescribed minutes. I mean, it's not too bad when you're coming on, but when you're starting a game knowing that you're coming off after 45, 60 minutes regardless, it's not a happy place to be, especially if you're feeling good. From the Wolves fans, I don't think they really want to see any more of this half.
It's been forgettable. It's getting worse. Esteval. Manote. Space for Gittins. Sure, beaten easily. A lot of white shirts in the area, wasn't the best of balls, and Bryan gets it clear for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Chelsea had a terrific first half, didn't they, last week against Ajax at Stamford Bridge. And the game before half-time. Sent off as well. Getting the red card. You just can't see at the moment the way back for Wolverhampton Wanderers. An ideal game for Jose star to come back into the goal. Conceded 11 goals in his 4 matches prior to tonight. Agbadou. Pressure from George, one of the goal scorers tonight for Chelsea. Rokadara just got away from him. Swinging white shirts around him, and here they come again with Buonanotte. He is penalised. Gittins, Santos, not able to take it with him. That's half time. I'm used to that noise here at Molineux in recent times. Santos it was who scored the first goal for Chelsea after 5 minutes from the edge of the penalty area. And then Gittins down the left-hand side set up the second for Tariq George, who tapped home a few yards out. Esteval scored the third 5 minutes before half-time. It's been a stroll for the Londoners. We're almost already in the quarter-finals of this competition. Half-time at Molineux is Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, Chelsea 3.
One goal that lifts the crowd. One celebration that unites them like brothers. And for him, the end of the match. That's how one up from Sportybet works. Don't wait until the final whistle to celebrate victory. Get settled early with Sportybet. One up. Winning is now that easy.
Breaking news out of Stamford Bridge. Solar to Chelsea, here we go.
Come on, Neil, now.
prison.
settled early with SportyBet. One up. Winning is now that easy.
We're having pictures now from the Molyneux in the Midlands. Second of action about to kick off. Obviously, Chelsea will want more of the same, but who knows? Anything can happen in football. Can Wolves mount the improbable comeback? All these questions shall be answered as we enjoy second 45 between Wolves and Chelsea.
So Wolves get us underway. It's a seemingly thankless task. Seconds nearly pulled the goal back for them. And they had the best chance of the first half, and they certainly had the best chance so far of the second.
Certainly what they want, isn't it, Wolverhampton Wanderers? A quick start. If they can get a goal back early in the second half, they might feel they're in with a chance.
Combination of those substitutions. We know MWESE going off. In the first half. Here's Gittins. Chichua got it away. You saw just one moment, didn't we, from Jackson Chichua when he used his pace and he roared down the right-hand side, but for most of the game he's really been in defensive mode, going backwards, trying to stop the progress of Jamie Gittins.
Just thinking about Rodrigo Gomez. He'll be very unhappy, whether it's an injury, but didn't seem to be so. One of the worst things as a player, to be subbed on and then be subbed off. I appreciate that Wolves are 3-0 down and Vitor Pereira feels that he needs to change it, but still as a player, that's never good.
He came on after 31 minutes and he's going at half-time. This is Swan. Wakagara, chance now, scores! Third time of asking. Wolverhampton Wanderers centre forward does find the back of the net. Is there still hope for Wolves in the Carabao Cup?
Third time lucky, isn't it? Wakagara. Two very good chances before this. Really like this first touch. Now, we can talk about the Chelsea defending in a moment, but that first touch with his left foot to bring it across his body so it can set up for the strike across the goalkeeper. It's absolutely wonderful. If you're looking at Tosin, Nachampong, it leaves a lot to be desired, although they'll be saying we were left very isolated 2v2 by the rest of our teammates.
Well, he scored an absolute beauty against Everton in the previous round. Very similar, in fact, to Esteval's goal. The way he just looped it over the goalkeeper with calm and cunning, but that was more conventional. So second goal for him since his arrival during the summer from the Belgian Pro League. Chelsea ball into the penalty area. Akpadu gets it away. So those players have picked up slight knocks here. Both were okay. And Walker and Wine. Really not what most of us were expecting. So not Chelsea, you would have thought, the way they strolled through that first 45 minutes.
Definitely been caught napping in this first half, but this is the goal, as I say. Having effectively 2v2 at the back, Chelsea. Too many players for my liking there, just jogging back. It's Wolves back into the game, but as I say, first touch. It really does set up the finish. Orikadora.
Some with the clearance. MWESE. Orikadora was the intended pass, it wasn't the best. Orikadora has lifted the move single-handedly here at Molineux tonight. Mosquera. Greci looking for MWESE, who wins the header. Gittins gets the free kick, says hello. Pressman still that injured. Greci. Gomez. Greci with a shot. This has been all night. The Wolves supporters will be able to treat them Stevens after that incident where he felt he was fouled.
This is the instant, as I mentioned, MWESE wants to drive forward from midfield, another threat. It's just a coming together there, isn't it? It's Mosquera makes the foul.
Desperate to stay on. He did enjoy his work in that first half. He's first trying to put some way back into this game. Extra time. If they do get it back to 3-3. Go straight to penalties. First winners of this competition. It's in the 1970s. And then last time out was in 1980 when they beat Nottingham Forest. Andy Gray with Mrs. Scrolls Hill had a score at Wembley just a few yards out, tapping. She goes just in case there was an error, and there was from the Chelsea goalkeeper. And she again puts it back into the danger zone. At some point it was with her header away. Optimism from the Wolves supporters. Ferguson convincing on that occasion. Ball goes in, and it's too close to the Chelsea goalkeeper.
It's not been the first occasion, has it? Where Jurgensen's not looked completely convincing. Should do better with this one. Really good pressure. And Greci just gives us an overview of it. Definitely no foul in there.
Sanchez, the number one, is on the bench tonight for Chelsea as Bakia gets an injury. Toasted and flying, pushing reach. Before he just pulls Wang away. It's a little bit heated out there. This is the reason why.
It's a poor challenger, no doubt about that. And that's when Tosin comes and gets involved as well, sticking up for his teammate.
Especially a teammate who's had so many injury problems in recent years. Since the first month of the season, last year, all those problems, just 11 Premier League starts for Romeo Lavia. Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo are on the bench, but whether Enzo Maresca will want to bring them on is another question. Maresca, a bit of a job to do, arguably at half-time. When you're 3-0 up and it's been so easy, you can say the message over and over again, it isn't one go out in the second half, but sometimes teams do feel that they've done the bulk of the work.
Yeah, I mean, players get complacent. It won't be the manager, obviously, that's complacent, but when the 3-0 up going in at half time, there is that element of you maybe exhale a little bit and you don't approach the second half in the same way that it obviously would the start of the game, but it was a short, sharp reminder from Wolves that this game's not done.
Santos will fall forward. Missed the bow. Didn't pick up the pace for Chelsea. Arto. Gittins.
It's an element of this that I don't mind from Chelsea. Obviously, everyone wants to see that forward attacking, free-flowing football, but they know they're just going to calm it down after conceding that goal so early and take the game away from Wolves.
Gittins. Quine. Here there. A few moments ago, and he gives away the free kick.
Yeah, definitely trying to but think there's a little bit of retribution, or at least trying to get it in that one.
Is the target. Chachua. Santos wins the free kick. Inspiration for Chachua so far tonight. It's his fourth start in the League and Cup this season. To remember the last time they won this competition, so for Chelsea supporters. It was. Scared with the ball in. Too much on it. Chelsea didn't on one occasion when they one of these scorers, one of the Chelsea scorers was on the weekend for Burnley. Paul Walker, who scored an own goal for Chelsea in that final until we got the other one. And Arsenal lead against Brighton by a goal to nil. Ranieri scored there just shy of the hour. The draw to the quarterfinals, just a reminder, is coming up later tonight after the Newcastle match finishes. It's looking likely it's going to be Chelsea who will be one of the eight. The Wolves are just hanging in there at the moment, and the goal will make it very interesting.
I think the Wolves, they've obviously tried to assess it at half-time, tried to get that fast start. They've made a number of changes, which has helped, especially Manetzi, I think, in the midfield, adding that bit of energy, but still a long way to get those two goals back.
With the delivery. He has been a real threat tonight.
Number of bodies, isn't there? Around. Everyone jumps. scarers in and around as well, but either way, the target hasn't been hit, and there's been a continuing problem for Wolves.
So changes for Chelsea. 3 of them. Coming on. Gusto. First to come off for Chelsea. He's ready to come on as well. As well. Well, a welcome return for Liam Delac. Hasn't played since the 30th of August. Picked up an injury against Fulham. He was substituted with a hamstring injury. And the timing was important in a way that it was the 30th of August and enabled Chelsea to do a little bit of business in the remaining few hours of that window. He'll get some opportunity here, half an hour to put some minutes in his head. So they're going to at the weekend, but it's Wolves coming forward once more. Secure. And that's the corner.
This one right driving forward. Good weight of passing to Shashua. Asking, I think, for potentially more than the corner, asking for the penalty, but that was never going to be given.
Santi Gomez waits. Delac is straight into the mix as a defender, hoping to get this ball away for Chelsea. Referee just delaying the corner at the moment to have words with 1 or 2 players. With the delivery, not the best. Pretty got it clear here, Chelsea. They're coming in the end from Lunetzi. No real power though.
It's a poor ball in all essence that they make something of in the end. Just interested to see how Chelsea are going to set up now. He's going to go down the middle, just change the positioning of George. Go out on the left hand side now by the look of it, and gets him out on the right.
Gomez to halfway, but Tosin does well. Brings it forward, looks forward. Who just tries to cushion it off. Make sure we got much contact on it, if any. Wolves will try and come again. Correa. Delac. George continues his run to the penalty area, but Wolves will not get through score. Locadara. Tosin does well. This is a good spell for Wolves. You sense that the crowd are believing and with energy about the Wolves' performance. It's a very slim way back for them at half-time. Step by step, though. Giving themselves an outside chance.
Well, they haven't. They've shown moments, and especially because then Chelsea makes a lot of changes as well. Sometimes just disrupt the rhythm. Again, you see Liam Delac come on there, and I think the ball back inside for Gittins is the right one, and he's going to be a little bit ring rusty. Do all the training that you want, but that match play is so important, not just for your body but for your mind as well.
Those in the morning chants from his own supporters on Saturday. Vitor Pereira retains the backing of the board at the moment. More pressure on him, you feel, for the game. On Saturday, they go down to face Fulham. 10th game of the season. 2 points only so far. One team in the top 4 English divisions to be without a win. Crooks have gone back. Halloween will have happened. And they get that first Premier League victory at the weekend down at Craven Cottage. Oh, desperately need the points as well. Now Gomez. Kadara makes the run out to the far side. Tosin goes with it.
Been impressed with the character of Wolves in this second half. There were times and moments where they're all looking at each other, arguing, look lost. But the attitude that they've approached this second half with has impressed me.
Gomez. A decent throw in. A bit power off so far. It's a little bit better and causes one or two problems. Gomez with the finger in there and really got a tap from Mascara. Wilson was grateful to grasp the ball. Otherwise it might have been game on here.
I mentioned it, haven't we, in the first half, but it is an area where Chelsea struggle. Great from set pieces, but also defending set pieces against. They do struggle at times, including the long throw.
Chelsea are one of the teams who don't have someone to take a long throw. They have DNA in their squad. But Maresca's saying, again, reiterating, it's not for me at the moment, but I am a coach who likes to evolve, so that may change.
It's one of those things, if it works for you and you've got the firepower with that in your team, then why not try and use that to your advantage?
Second goal for Newcastle against Tottenham in that 8 o'clock kickoff. So the holders, Chelsea, are heading for the quarterfinals. Bucharest. Carter. Chelsea would love just one more goal to make it a cruise for the rest of the match. It's a deja vu again, isn't it, for Wolverhampton Wanderers, who found themselves 2-0 down at the weekend against Burnley. Back to 2-2. They were nicely close to going 3-2 up. They actually hit the crossbar. Arias free kick. They had other opportunities as well, but all that was sort of lost in everything that happened at the full-time whistle and after the full-time whistle.
First contact doesn't drop the way it needs to. From Wolves' perspective, for Purdue, and the old rush on Mascara.
So Wang is off, and Jürgen Strandler. They were in trouble then as well. They were 2-1 down on that occasion. He came up with 2 goals. And got them through to a fixture against Everton. He's going to do even more tonight to keep them in the competition. One of those players that actually it's like a syphilis with all supporters after Sunday's game. Spoke about it afterwards, and it's frustrating, it's not nice. Sort of reluctantly said that he understands the frustration of the Wolves supporters. Chachua, first time ball in. Especially with the header away. Here he goes, Rocadara. Chance here, what a save! Absolutely brilliant. Stranglarsson thought he'd scored seconds after coming onto the pitch.
First and foremost, it's a brilliant save. Wolves, they keep this alive, they recycle the ball, they don't take a pot shot like they did earlier in the game. In all honesty, John Larson, he doesn't make the connection with that he wants. I think if he gets a full foot on that, he's probably in the back of the net. He almost just stabs at it. A little bit of a scuff into the ground, but nothing away from the save.
The action is in the penalty area tonight. What's happening here? Thomas Bramall just explaining something to the Wolves players, and Captain Totti Gomez, who, you can see from the body language, aren't happy with the decision.
Either a goal kick, I imagine, or is the argument that Strand Larsen was offside, maybe? There's been an offside in the build-up, looking at the position. That free kick there.
Larsen was close, wasn't he, to the offside?
Flash of heads there, but I'm not sure how that would equate to a Chelsea free kick.
Messi. Want to let the momentum that they created dissipate with the stoppages. George is chasing. Once but twice.
Going to work himself into the box now, probably. Silly. It's naive. Just he's trying to chase us down, George. He's had a bit of a frustrating second half. He's not happy with the fact that Mosquera, I think, has a fistful of his shirt, but it's the reaction after that that catches the eye of the referee.
Yellow card for the youngster. Have to watch his step. Mokudara with the head up. Boom. Particularly composed defending there. Mosquera to take the throw in. Just moving Cook around. It's a bit of a mismatch, mind you, at 6'6". Many out there that could match you. And it goes, opportunity here at the back post. Goal! Walker, keeping the dream alive for these supporters. First goal for the club.
We've got a game on our hands now. Wolverhampton, in my opinion, has probably been the best player in the Wolves shirt, and that is a wonderful strike. Yet again, a long throw come to fruition. See there the flick on by Strand Larsen. Just trying to tease it towards goal any way possible. Then takes another flick on there. Back for do. Chelsea aren't picking Wolverhampton up at that back post area.
Oh, this is amazing, isn't it? Who would have thought at half-time that we would be where we are now, and Chelsea hope at the weekend against Sunderland, and ended up losing the final kick of the game. This is the winning it for Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Mentioned his brilliant character, but if you're a Wolves fan, if you're the manager, you must be sitting there thinking, we've seen it against Burnley to try and get back into the game with character, albeit losing late. We're seeing it here. What is it about the team that they can't start this from the first half?
Gomez with the ball forward. Tosin wins the header. You look at the Chelsea bench, don't you? One or two players brought here, maybe expecting to stick it out with the game against Tottenham at the weekend, but they have to come on and see this through for Chelsea. 15 minutes to go, and we know in the modern game there will be plenty of stoppage time. Just ask these two teams. On the wrong side of it at the weekend.
teams as well. Albeit this isn't the Premier League, and the Premier League both conceded 5 goals each in the last 15 minutes of games.
Kagara. Corner's gone down. Kagara went down. Ref says play on. Wolverhampton. A continuous run that is not
Tireless today though, down that left-hand side, and even when Wolves weren't playing particularly well. By far the best player. Long throw again from Mascara. Flick on. They should do well to keep it alive, Wolves. That's the main thing. Little flick on from Akbadu. Wolfer just sneaking around that back post area. Not a Chelsea player picking him up, and great technique.
Yes, another goal that Chelsea had conceded from the throw-in from the Stamford Bridge. Great applause from most Exeter supporters for Pedro Neto, one of those big hitters that have had to come onto the pitch. And 15 minutes to go, knows this ground so well, of course. Big favourite here. He has come on for Tyreek George. Cheer for Neto. And a free kick as well. Started all 9 games in the Premier League this season for Chelsea, Pedro Neto. That's one of the reasons that he began here against his old club from the bench. Achibon. Delap. Let's see, puts it out for a throw-in. Second goal for the Gunners. Arsenal 2, Brighton 0. Saka on the score sheet for them at Emirates. Delap managed to play, but Wolves quickly get it upfield. Tosin's tussle with Rakadara is now becoming one of the key battles out on the pitch tonight. Rakadara chases forward, but back it goes to Jurgensen.
Just been given now a bit more support, hasn't he, Rakadara, whether it be Nenetsi or Strand Larsen. He's not quite as isolated in this second half, and it's paid dividends for Wolves.
For Berea, finding himself in plenty of space, but opting to go sideways and continue his run towards the penalty area. Jalap jostling with his defender. Oh, he's pulled him down to the ground there. Mascara's gone down. Did the referee or the assistant see that? And Jalap's run in again for a second time. The referee definitely would have seen that. And it's a yellow card for William Jalap. Well, the initial contact was off the ball. I'm not sure the referee would have seen it. You see it there in the penalty area. He's pulled Mascara down. The ref did blow up and dished out a yellow card.
I think he's a little bit fortunate, Delap. Probably lucky with his hand placement, or very thoughtful of it at least, because I think obviously if that's in the face of Mascara, completely game over, isn't it? It's a red card.
Chelsea obviously have their issues, don't they, with red cards in recent times. They do not want to pick up another one here, particularly someone who's been out for such a long period.
Just being talked to again, he needs to be careful he doesn't talk himself into another yellow.
Neto. Gomez. Messi in the penalty area waiting the cross. And there'll be war for company.
Should be really happy with the second half so far, especially set pieces, the corners and the long throws, causing Chelsea all sorts of problems.
Just over 10 minutes to go. Teams with plenty of time to clear that away. It's a Forex corner. He's offside.
Unfortunate that that comes to nothing, Wolves, because very, very poor corner.
Regardless coming on. And Wakadara is one of those. Wakadara was terrific, actually one of the few bright spots on the weekend game against Burnley. Creator of a goal and other opportunities as well. There it goes. So Elgar comes on for Rokadara, who started the comeback right at the start of this second half. Wolverhampton making it 3-2. Chelsea, I'd like to hear the full-time whistle if the scoreline can be kept as it is now. Messi waits for Enzo Fernandez. Pushing the goalkeeper just in case. Fernandez. Gittins. That's influential in the second half. Who helped create one of those three first half goals and got a hand in the first one as well. Goes down for the first time since he's come on the pitch and wins a free kick for Chelsea.
He does really well, Neto, and actually relieves a bit of pressure for Chelsea. Gomez makes the challenge. Chelsea have certainly been the team that have looked under more pressure, so they'll be glad to get a free kick in a good area right now.
Credited with 2 assists for the first 2 goals for Santos and George. And then looking to create here is Enzo Fernandez. Looking to make a mischief of himself in that penalty area. Tosin there as well. Delac. I know that Wolverhampton Wanderers have. In it goes, and Tosin with a free header. That might have been the opportunity to kill off the game once and for all.
That just gives you the last 7 and whatever added. A lot more comfortably, but he gets right underneath it, Tosin. Clever, way that he brings himself back on side, the little nudge in the back of Akbadu. The contact is all wrong, just needs to glide that back towards goal.
Against Wolves when these 2 teams last met. It was at Stamford Bridge in January. Wolves are in here. Gomez has been penalised. Well, maybe not he was penalised, but the challenge beforehand. The push from Santos.
There, isn't it? I think as a defender, it's not a lot, but I think the defender in that position always gets the benefit of the doubt. Maybe that's the old centre forward in me talking.
Motte departs. Another Chelsea player has been playing through niggles in recent weeks, was the expression. Moses Caicedo is on the pitch alongside Enzo Fernandez. And that really tells you everything, doesn't it? The engine room of Chelsea has been brought out here at Molineux in the second half to see them over the line.
They need to finish strong, Chelsea. The last thing they want now is a an equaliser, penalties, and especially off the back of the defeat against Sunderland, reaction.
Got a little nudge there. Into the defender. He's already on the yellow card, don't forget. Because the man has gone down. And would you believe it, on his return, Liam Black, who hasn't played since August due to injury, becomes the latest Chelsea player to be sent off. Chelsea in this second half have just made things so difficult for themselves.
It's absolutely ridiculous. You can see it coming an absolute mile off. Even before this, when he makes the two challenges in quick succession, and you see, there's just a little look before he makes the challenge. He knows exactly what he's doing. See Mascara there making the elbow. He's probably quite fortunate that it's not a straight red, because it could well be. And after spending so long out, working so hard to get yourself back fit, to then do that is just completely ridiculous. It's so naive and no idea why he's done it.
Enzo Maresca will have to field questions, I'm sure, again post-match about his team's discipline. And of course, picked up a red card, didn't he? But in altogether different circumstances, celebrating on the touchline that wonderful late winner against Liverpool at Stamford Bridge. But he's picked up a whole host of headaches in this second half. Listen to the noise, listen to the hope of the Wolves supporters. They know there's going to be a fair amount of stoppage time. We've had quite a few stoppages, and MWESE is trying to win it, but Kukurea gets it clear for Chelsea. In it goes, Strand Larsen can't get it down. Strand Larsen again. Kukurea goes to ground, and it'll be a free kick. The ball just would not sit. But then Wolverhampton Wanderers substitute. Otherwise, we were looking at 3-3.
It's an awkward one, because I think in an ideal world, first time, when this ball presents itself, he wants to try and hit that. I think it's just too far away, and that's why he tries to bring it down, but he's not got time to do it. I'm just sitting here thinking now, regardless of what happens in this result, even if Chelsea go and win, I think it presents more questions than answers for the away side at the moment.
Thomas Frank is obviously busy with other matters up in the northeast at the moment. When they study the tape, particularly the second half, there will be encouragement for Tottenham. Premier League game at the weekend. Tottenham being conceded again from a throw-in. Let's come up against. Hernandez with the ball round the corner. Gittins. From Gittins really sums up how Chelsea have gone from a high to some low since the 40th minute, really, when they scored that third goal from Esteval. It is remarkable that this game is still alive as we head up to the 90, although Chelsea will want to put it to bed here. Oh, what a goal! Gittins. 2 assists and a goal for Jamie Gittins. His first for Chelsea. Relieves the pressure. And after a troublesome second half, Chelsea are heading to the quarter-finals of the Carabao Cup.
What a goal this is by Gittins. This is a quiet second half compared to the first. This is a wonderful goal. I said half-time, 3-0, it's game over, and everything changed, but that really is game over now. This is struck so sweetly. I love the pitch awareness. He knows exactly where he is, where the goal is, drives onto this, strikes it. Such a hard technique with the outside of the boot. Ricochets in, the woodwork. Wolves will be devastated, but my word, have Chelsea made this hard work.
And the 10 men have scored against 11. So plenty of time for more drama. You feel that the wind might just have gone out of Wolverhampton Wanderers. Opportunity maybe. Back here from Wolverhampton. It is him! They've scored again! It's 4-3. Another crazy end to a match. What will you?
Would you believe it? This game in the second half changed everything. And there's been moments that have been really poor defending, but still, credit Wolves with getting bodies forward, getting in the right areas. This is clever as well, this finish. Yes, there's a little bit of fortune in it. Again, Wolverhampton, the way that he knows he's got to lift this ball as it comes in. Sean Larson as well coming on has made such a big difference, being a focal point. And there won't be another twist in this game just yet.
Well, what an introduction. Well, Wolverhampton tonight. They've only started 2 games all season. And he's come up with 2 goals tonight. On both sides ended up on the wrong end of it in stoppage time at the weekend, but some team's got to come out on the right side surely this time round. Just a reminder, no extra time, we go straight to penalties if Wolverhampton Wanderers can find another goal. Gittins must have thought he won it for Chelsea. From Jurgensen. Fernandes. Option over on that far side is Neto. Gittins pulling away, and here is Gittins. Tries a weak one from Marcelo. He's been among the goals this season. He needs to get himself back as quickly as possible. Good job. Wolves come again. Kukuret waiting for the ball and got it clear. Went down. Ref didn't see it as a foul. Creative. Foster's play on again. And 2 Chelsea players are down injured.
First initial long ball forward. It might have been Wolverhampton again. There's an acres of space on that left-hand side, and not sure why Chelsea are giving him that much room. He's already been on the score sheet twice tonight.
Yellow card. Marcelo here comes up to the referee. I think he's picked up a yellow card as a result of something he said to the referee at Thomas Bromwell. It's really disjointed, isn't it? But it's exciting, certainly from the Wolves' point of view. Really nervy from a Chelsea point of view now. They could score 4 goals away from home and still be hanging on. Seems almost unthinkable. To go, man. Lagarde goes back and retrieves the ball for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Well, we're given 6 minutes, but Surely there's going to be more with the goal coming in stoppage time to add on a few more minutes, and here they come again. Football towards the near post, and KURI did just about enough there. I'm not sure Chelsea can be celebrating when the full-time whistle does go.
It's one of those as a player, it feels like a bit of a poison chalice. She actually won the game you through to the next round, but you know you've played your best, you've made it hard work, you know you're probably going to get a few choice words from the manager.
I was just hoping there might be one more opportunity, as there was for Burnley here at the weekend. Gomez. Greci. 6 minutes to virtually up. Ball goes in towards the area. KURI spectacularly away. Mosquera loads it towards the back post. Knocks across, and Caicedo. Well, they touch initially, took it towards the goalkeeper. He cleared. Almost from the arms of Jurgensen. Well, they've conceded once from a throw-in tonight, and they've looked vulnerable. This is the last chance. Gomez, he drive the ball, then goes short. Bellegarde with an opportunity to put it to the back post. Larson jumps, but not as high as Jurgensen.
Don't understand it, I really don't. Trying to be too clever. You've caused chaos and already scored from the long throw. You then decide to take it short, and it's a poor ball in it. It baffles my brain.
Still playing. Bellegarde wins the header. Chua keeps it in. And that's not as concerned, understandably. It's such a blow. The game did go to penalties from a Chelsea point of view. And Chelsea have a free kick, and Chelsea have a win. But only just. Boy, did they make that difficult in the second half. Liverpool with a couple. Rokodara as well. The Chelsea fans celebrate probably isn't the right word, the victory. They are relieved that their team have got over the line and are into the quarter-finals of the Carabao Cup. There's frustration from Wolves. Once again, they've been beaten at home. And once again, they have given the opposition a huge start and not been able to turn it around. It's been a bit of needle at times tonight. One red card and the possibility maybe of more sanctions after the full-time whistle, but it looks as if it's petering out. And Chelsea 3-0 up at half-time. They've got the job done, but only just. It's him scoring late on to make it 4-2. And we thought that was it, 89th minute, but then Wolverhampton almost immediately got a goal back for Wolves. All this after Liam De Hack on his return had stupidly got a second yellow card to make things even harder for Chelsea. But they've done it, and if they lift the trophy at Wembley later on this season, you will remember this. Wolves beaten again, full-time, Wolves 3. Chelsea 4. Well, it's stark contrast, isn't it, to the weekend when there was altercations, fans with players, coach with fans, and it is completely a different picture tonight. They are proud of their team and what they've achieved, particularly in Libya. And it is completely a different picture tonight. They are proud of their team and what they have achieved, particularly, or maybe only, in the second half.
Yeah, the fans appreciate the effort, and I think that's why they've been frustrated at times so much this season, the Wolves fans, because they felt like, you know, technically and tactically there's issues there, but when the effort isn't there for players, I think
what an entertaining finish to this one. It's a 7-goal thriller with the addition of a red card. Chelsea will go through to the next round, but only by the skin of their teeth. They made it harder than it should have been. However, credit to the Wolves, as this will have been a disastrous outing, but a very spirited performance in the second 45 to see them come so close to perhaps taking this game straight to penalties. On the other hand, Chelsea still have that ghost and the shadow of the red cards chasing them around, because Delap will get what many would imagine to be a silly red card in this one. However, in the end, for the neutrals, we enjoyed every single moment of this one because it will end 4-3 in favor of the Blues. Guys, what a second 45. And I said perhaps the impossible could happen. I never knew that Wolves were like, we're going to take you up on that one and most likely makes a very sense finish for Chelsea fans.
Truly entertaining, truly exciting, truly pulsating. The second half burst to life in ways that none of us could have expected. Wolves, and I think one thing that even touched me at the end of the game was the way the fans, appreciated what the players, the effort they showed. And that is something that we haven't really seen from Wolves this season. Fans clamoring, they wanted to see more from their team, even though they lost the game, but you could still just praise the